Welcome to today's Explainer. We are taking a really fascinating journey into a place you might not expect to find high-stakes drama and real-world problem solving, and that is the comment section of a TikTok auto mechanic. Specifically, we're stepping inside the digital garage of a creator known simply as Mechanic. We've come through the data, the comments, and the videos to bring you a structured look at what everyday drivers are actually struggling with out there on the roads. Okay, let's dive into this. Listen to this comment from user Adil Shah. He writes, and I'm translating here, "My car, when I turn on the AC, it's fine, but then after 20 or 30 minutes, the cooling stops working." I mean, we can all feel the absolute desperation in this comment, right? Just imagine it. You're on a sweltering commute, the traffic is backed up for miles, and right when you need it the absolute most, that cold air just vanishes. This perfectly highlights the frustration of universal car troubles. It's not just some mechanical failure under the hood. It's an acute, day-ruining disaster. Section 1. Inside the Digital Garage, a community of commuters. Let's look at social media through a completely different lens, because this creator has built what is essentially a real-time global diagnostic clinic for frustrated drivers. To really understand the scale of this clinic, the Mechanic's account has amassed 25.4K followers. That is a massive waiting room of people. And honestly, this sheer volume proves something incredibly important. There is a desperate, overwhelming need among everyday people for accessible, jargon-free automotive advice. They absolutely do not want a textbook manual. They want a mechanic who speaks their language and actually understands their daily driving pain points. User Abu Saf leaves a really simple but telling comment, asking, "Where is the garage, friend?" Now, this isn't just a casual viewer leaving a note. It demonstrates a profound level of direct demand and trust. This digital mechanic has built such strong credibility that thousands of followers don't just want a video tutorial, they literally want to physically bring their cars to him. It's the ultimate validation of his expertise. Section 2. Diagnosing common AC disasters. Let's move to and see how this builds from the overarching community down to their most pressing, sweat-inducing problem, broken air conditioning. We've distilled the exact symptoms pulled directly from user comments and video titles. We see people just panicking about the compressor straight up not working. We see reports of the engine's RPM dropping the exact second the AC button is pressed. There's that infamous intermittent cooling issue where it just quits after 20 to 30 minutes. And of course, massive anxiety around finding an evaporator leak. Just rapidly scanning this list, you really get a sense of the wide breadth of AC disasters that everyday drivers are forced to navigate. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how a seemingly isolated comfort issue, like the AC, actually bleeds into the core functionality of the car. This user notes that his car's RPM drops the very moment the AC is turned on. This is a brilliant peek into automotive mechanics. Because a cooling issue isn't always just about a lack of cold air. It can physically drag down the engine's overall performance. It shows that the car is this delicate, highly interconnected ecosystem. Section 3. Fuel, power, and mileage. Because, think about it. Once the immediate crisis of a sweltering, broken AC is finally fixed, what do everyday drivers immediately start worrying about next? Yup, their wallets and their car's overall performance. On one side, we have this desperate question: why is the car slow? And right across from it, the mechanic's answer: improve mileage and power with simple cleaning. This brilliantly illustrates the direct cause and effect relationship between driver anxiety, dealing with a sluggish, gas-guzzling car, and the mechanic's incredibly accessible solution. He's telling his audience, hey, you don't always need a massive engine rebuild. Sometimes it really just comes down to a basic, simple cleaning. The engagement numbers here tell a really clear story about human priorities. At the very top, why is fuel consumption high is sitting at a massive 2,178 likes. Right below it, general car maintenance tips has almost the exact same engagement at 2,171 likes. But as we go down to small fixes, and then a highly technical video like the camshaft sensor explained, the engagement drops by more than half. I mean, this proves exactly what everyday drivers care about most: the direct hit to their bank account at the gas pump. Visually, the bars for fuel consumption and general maintenance just absolutely tower over the rest of the content. So, the crucial point is that economic anxieties, that daily fear of burning too much expensive fuel, completely dwarf the desire to understand highly technical sensor explanations. Drivers want practical, money-saving advice first and foremost. Section 4. Small fixes, big results.
We are shifting the narrative away from those acute, panic-inducing car problems and fuel anxieties to look at this digital mechanics' real overarching philosophy, which is preventative care.
One of the creator's most impactful video titles asks a really simple but brilliant question: what happens if you neglect these parts? It's a clever framing device that forces you to look at your own habits. It prompts you to ask yourself, okay, what weird noise am I currently ignoring just because I don't want to deal with it right now? Remember that camshaft sensor video that had much lower engagement? Well, it actually serves a vital purpose in this mechanic's teaching. By explaining how this highly specific, tiny sensor operates, he perfectly ties into his core thesis. Ignoring tiny, seemingly insignificant components leads directly to the sluggish cars, the terrible mileage, and the dying engines we were just talking about. A small part really does have a massive effect on your car's entire ecosystem. This philosophy creates a clear cycle of neglect. It starts innocently enough on day one, where you just sort of ignore a small rattling part or skip a basic cleaning. But by month 3, you're the person in the comments section frantically asking why your fuel consumption is so high and why your car feels sluggish. And by year 1, you are facing a massive, wallet-draining major repair expense. It is a direct, unavoidable progression. Which brings us to the ultimate mantra for everyday drivers, coined by the creator himself: small fixes, big results. This really is the golden rule of the digital garage. The absolute best automotive advice isn't about knowing how to perform complex engine overhauls. It is about the discipline of preventative simplicity. Because taking 5 minutes to clean a part today saves you 5 weeks of being without a car tomorrow. So as we wrap up our analysis of this incredible digital community, I want to leave you with a final, provocative question. What small fix is your car begging for today before it becomes a major expense? Take a moment, think about your own daily commute, and maybe go check on that engine. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the digital garage. I hope this explainer has empowered you with a little more knowledge for the road ahead.